It's
Yeah.
7:32. Julie is not able to join us.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was late enough to this that I didn't think it was worthwhile to try to reschedule. So,
Yeah, no, that's fine. And I know you
it's,
have some updates, so
yeah, I figure I could update you from my conversation with Anne on
great.
Monday, and she was there. So
Oh, Julie was there. Okay.
Julie was able to dial into that one. So I can catch
Perfect.
you up and then we can talk about what we think is next.
Sounds great.
I see no public participation. I forgot to put voting on the minutes on the agenda. So I guess
Oh,
we'll
okay.
tackle that in matters not anticipated at the end of the meeting.
Great. Sounds great.
So yeah, so review the program proposal and any new info we have learned. So let's see. So we met with Anne at the DPW, and she totally so I walked her through the sort of two-pager that we have of the different
Yep.
phases and the pilot concept, and she really liked sort of the idea of starting with a pilot and of having those phases for like focusing on
Awesome.
particular areas. So that seems good.
Awesome.
Um, and we mostly focused in on the recycling
Yep.
area because that's the one
Right.
where the DPW has sort of the most ability to support.
Yep.
She thought that for the recycling, for the cardboard recycling,
Yeah.
as well as the metal, because that dumpster's there, and she thought like over time we maybe will add other specialized recycling things. Her
Okay.
thought was to offer a like business pass to the pit for free. So like,
Yep.
residents have to, I don't remember, is it like 25 or $35 for
Right.
the pit for the year, that she said for just not the yard waste stuff, but just for the cardboard and metal and whatever else is in that section, that they could like give businesses just have to sign up and you could give them a pass so that they feel very welcome to use
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Because your thought was, and it's funny, there's a deep thread of commentary on in one of the community groups
Yep.
about this, and I should know better than to comment on things in the community groups. Of there, like, there's a business with some cardboard, and someone said, "Oh, put it in the dumpster, in the cardboard dumpster," and then other people said, "No, that's not for businesses; it's just for residents." And I said, like, actually, it,
Interesting.
you know,
Yep.
businesses are welcome to use it too, because those specialized recycling ones are revenue neutral or cost neutral,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like, we don't want folks putting we don't want businesses using dumpsters that the town has to pay
Correct.
to have
Yeah.
disposed of. Like putting your commercial trash in, like the little barrels
Yes.
downtown.
Right.
But the cardboard one pays for itself from
Right.
the
Yeah, because the town gets paid, right? Because of
right.
the
So she said like she thinks, it'd be fine for businesses to use it. And she's also gonna try, and the hours aren't ideal. It's Wednesdays, Saturdays, and like every other Sunday for
okay.
most of the year. It's early April to early December. That's most of the year. And she said she's gonna try to find a location for it off season. This year it's been at Town Hall, and it was supposed to only be at Town Hall through the beginning of January, but it's
Uh-huh.
actually been there since.
What's been there since
The
the
cardboard dumpster.
oh, it's been a
It's
town.
been at Town Hall parking lot since whenever the pit closed.
Oh,
So
got it.
so there might be opportunities for it to just have a winter home when there isn't
Great.
yard waste stuff going
Yep.
on.
Oh yeah, much more convenient for especially those downtown businesses.
And maybe it makes sense to have one at both locations.
Right.
So anyway, so it sounds like, certainly supportive for some cardboard dumpster access. She's also interested in just periodically doing, sort of a specialty recycling day. So she said like rigid plastic or batteries or whatever sort of thing
Uh,
where, on a particular day we put out a call for like anyone bring things to, whatever location.
yeah.
Um,
Awesome. Love that.
our conversation got very distracted into um residential recycling. So let
Oh,
me read minutes to try to make sure that I'm only sharing the stuff that's relevant to
yeah, tease
business.
that out.
But she said certainly, I suggested that when new businesses start, we also want to be able to provide some information
Right.
about what these resources are, and she thought that was
Yep,
important. Certainly think
absolutely.
that um, Erin is another good next person to talk with.
Right.
And we talked about contamination, like in the trash. You're not allowed to put recyclables in the trash, right? Not allowed.
I I know.
But
Preaching to
it's
the choir. Yeah.
poorly enforced, and apparently
Oh,
like Covanta or well, Covanta, who picks up our trash, if they see, or who receives our trash. Well, anyway,
they probably
they'll
received
like
the trash, I'm
they
guessing.
yeah, because Republic Services is the one who picks it up. They will like issue a letter and ultimately fines for, you had a whole bunch of cardboard in your trash. Um, but it takes a while to get to that point. Um, we talked about the notion of like, could there be some shared composting bin somewhere that businesses could,
Hmm.
go in on
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
And actually, so I was at then on Tuesday, I was at the Mass Recycle conference, and I was talking with Black Earth about that. Like, have they seen examples of folks doing that? And they shared that Newton?
Mm-hmm.
In Newton, they have a few shared composting bins that just have a little lock on them, and they just give the combination to that lock to any of the
Oh,
participating businesses, and then they can come and put their compost in there. You could also do it with like a fenced area or something, like if part of
right.
the idea is you need to be able to
An
trust that the
area.
people are doing it the right way and like limit who can
Right.
access it, put it
Right.
in a little fenced yard, and then, they could bring stuff. I think that
Right.
I have some questions about whether people would, right? Whether businesses
Yeah,
would schlep their composting somewhere.
I know. And in downtown, it doesn't, like Melrose downtown, they have those little alleyways. Like I could see like a bin being in there or something, but in Wakefield, it's really, there's not a lot of,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no like
That's
space
That's
there.
part of yeah, that's certainly part of the challenge. So I think, this might be something where with the pilot businesses, we explore that with them sort of
Right.
individually. What is their
Yeah.
situation? Where is their trash
Hmm.
dumpster? Is there space for recycling? Is there
Right.
space for compost? And if the cost of compost is the challenge, are there other businesses right adjacent that they could share it with?
Absolutely. Especially, those food service businesses, this is like a big part of their business. I mean, you know
Yeah,
how much probably you compost, I compost. I
right.
can only imagine a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it must be just pounds and pounds,
Yeah.
So,
And they're under the limit currently of what isn't allowed in the trash, but that's only a matter of time. So,
right. Right.
um, what else? We talked about this. Maybe I'm not sure how much this applies to businesses, but we talked about like making it easier for folks to host events in a low waste way. So like, what if we had, water jugs, compost bins, things that you could borrow or rent for an
Oh,
event.
yeah, I
If you were,
love that.
hosting a 5K, bring the water truck, which is actually I
Yeah.
think already on the sign up form for the if you're like doing an event somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you're having an event, can you borrow some water things or some other, materials that help you do it in a low waste way?
Yeah, I'm just wondering about that because we talked about that for the farmers market a little bit,
Mm.
right? And it
Hmm.
was the issue was what do you do after? Like who takes
Right.
it? Who picks it up, right? And I think it was like, do you bring
Yeah.
it to just the resident's house? I mean, I'm happy to take that, but at the same time, it's like, okay, where,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
it would need the compost bin would need to have a designated place it goes back to
it
that
goes
Black Earth
back.
knows is the pickup spot. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So, but I love that idea of
I mean, and that might be its own program or business, like
right.
that someone could start of that.
Yeah.
We talked about bike racks, and because Julie cares about a lot about bike racks.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
She's saying how hard a time she had finding a place to park her bike out front of Public Kitchen.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And Anne took some notes about that. They're, soon-ish redoing a bunch of that Main Street piece as part of the
The PED plan or whatever that is.
yeah.
Yeah.
some of that will happen, so they don't want to like put too much stuff in that's permanent, but she was saying like, get some even of the temporary ones.
Yeah, there's not many. I mean, I'm not a biker, but
They're not, yeah, there's not a lot
there's
of
just
bike
not
racks.
many, right?
Yeah. Um, the library is one that
The
she was like,
library has one, right?
yeah. We talked about Earth Month, but that wasn't really about businesses. And she suggested that we could talk with Steve Bowers, who is the trash supervisor and does a lot of like looking at the trash and recycle bins people on the residential side, but you know, he has a lot of.
College.
Okay, can you hear my cat?
No, I can't.
Like going up and down the hallways.
Oh, now I hear. Now I hear your cat. Oh.
I think he's Alan's upstairs doing bedtime, so I think he's like,
Oh, so he's feeling
"Where are
lonely?
you? Where are
Yeah.
you? I'm lost." He's playing Marco Polo. Um, he's mostly deaf, so he's very loud.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how loud he's being. Poor old cat.
Oh.
But she thought Steve might have some good ideas just around the sorts of things that are getting that like businesses might need or that are getting
Mhm.
not getting appropriately recycled or trashed currently.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's such
so
a big thing.
that was that. And then let's see, was there anything else from Master Cycle? Oh, so yeah, so Recycling Works is an
Mhm.
organization. They're part of, are they part of DEP or they're separate from DEP? I don't know. Recycling Works?
Yeah, I've heard of them before. Are those the ones who do the boxes?
No,
That's not Recycling Works?
I don't think so.
Okay. Who are they?
Oh, I might have sent you like a one pager from them or a link to their site about like guidance to businesses.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
they do
Oh, yes, I read that over. Okay.
yeah, so they do like support to businesses trying to be greener. And
Yes.
they'll do audits and they said like we could email them our green business plan and get their feedback. Um they she said that something that they do sometimes in a particular like in a strip because I told her like we're looking to start with a pilot group of
Mhm.
businesses and
Yep.
she said that excuse me they'll sometimes do like a drawdown day where they go and do mini audits of a bunch of businesses in like a town center or a particular business district to
Okay.
do like not a full audit of everything, but of,
Yeah,
you know,
just a
just some
little.
help with like what are the things that you're having the hardest time recycling or like a couple of top questions.
Hmm.
And I believe they're free.
I
Like
was
they're
going to say, is
just
that a paid service or is
I don't
that's
think
free?
so. I think it's free.
Oh, well, then we
Um,
should absolutely
yeah.
look
So
into
I have Sonia there
it.
is the
Hmm.
person to talk with. So I'll take a note to email Sonia at Recycling Works for feedback and um, a drawdown day type of audit.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so that was some good info. What else? Told you about the locks on the locking compost bins in
Yep.
Newton. Oh, the Black Earth folks said in Beverly. Beverly does some great stuff. I don't know if you've looked
Yeah.
at the like Green Beverly page.
Yeah.
They're like
Yes, they're great.
they're great. They have some central composting facility or like drop off point,
Yep.
and they give folks who want to use it a quiz to get access to it. So like the first time you like when you sign up to want to participate in the centralized compost, and I don't know if this is for businesses or personal like residential, but they just like give you a short quiz about what does and doesn't go in the compost bin. And if you pass
Right.
the quiz, then you get to
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
I thought that was like it's so
That's
simple.
great. So great. Does
Let's
like you know Shaw's how they have that little hut type of thing outside of it, like where you can go in, it's like a recycling center.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like they should just have composting bins in there or something like where, can Black Earth pick up from there or something where it's like
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to call that centralized, but kind of, it is, and people do go there and they do it is like a recycling little area.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure they have like they must do composting or something with
Must,
their
right?
waste because they certainly I would imagine are over the tonnage limit of what's allowed.
Right.
Um so they probably have a process for that stuff. So I don't know if they would want to separately collect for Black Earth, but maybe they could just take
Or
stuff for composting in general. I
because
wonder if that,
I know a lot of those stores do that, like even the plastic bags, like yes,
yeah,
it's the recycling of the plastic bags, but the other thing is you have to go to Shaw's to do it. And when you're
right.
there, you go, oh, by the
Oh,
way,
that's right.
I
I
need
need
this,
eggs.
I need that. So it's like it's more of like a, oh yeah, bring people into our
Right. Yeah. Worth
um
asking. Do you want to reach out to them and see?
how do I reach out to them? Is it just a
Yeah,
I mean, I can look into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
You know,
Because
just to
that's
see
a
if
good idea. It's a centralized place. It's our
right, a
it's
centralized, you know,
and
we're
it's
look
out of the it's like not in the exposed to the elements, right? It's like a little bit
exactly. So like I'm thinking no
separate.
animals, like things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like, yeah, if I can ask them, we're looking for a centralized composting area
Yeah.
for, and Black Earth can pick up there, right?
Yeah. Could they? Like it's worth exploring. I don't know how much we've partnered at all with Shaw's around like I don't know. I'd
Yeah,
be curious even just to know what sort of sustainable things they do or don't do.
I know. It's a lot of question marks.
But yeah, if you want to try to like
Yeah,
start a conversation with them, it'd be great to
yeah.
um,
I'm probably, you think email's pretty good or?
try. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, next time I'm in there, I can also talk to an actual person.
Yeah.
You know, they
Possible that
have a
might
whole upstairs. Like every time I'm there, I look
right.
at that whole upstairs. So I'm like, maybe I'll
Right. There
just
are
talk
definitely some people
some
who
people there.
own the
Yeah.
place that aren't, just stocking shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah, what other like central places? Because like we have the textiles drop-offs at the schools.
At the schools. Yep. And even like the battery thing, like those are at the library, right? The or town hall. We have a battery one. Or
Do we have
maybe
that?
or maybe we're going to after the ESC table
Oh yeah, I
there.
think
Yeah.
that's it.
I think
Yeah.
it should probably be there anyway. Like just if we can keep it there.
Nice. Yeah.
But compost is like it's stinky, you know, it needs to
Yeah.
be separate from humans and
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
animals.
Well, that's why I was thinking if it was like in somewhere where the stores are closer to it, so they're at least keeping an eye on it. But
I know, like the side of farmland, not the side, or like the back. Like I've seen some bins over there, but
oh yeah, farmland uses black earth.
yeah, that's what it is. I've
So
seen some.
they've got a dozen bins, I think. They've got quite a gaggle of bins of
Yeah,
black earth bins, which is great. And
yeah, which is
I don't know, would they let other businesses chip in to
put
add to their compost?
yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
I know they have a bunch over there.
Right. Like, would they add three more if the cost of those three more was subsidized by other
Yeah,
folks who want to use it? Maybe worth asking.
and I wonder how that works with businesses because you know, with the residents, you know, the more that participate, the less it is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is businesses, is it the same? Like, do they pay per bin or is it like,
I would imagine they pay per bin because we pay per bin for the schools.
okay, so it's per bin.
So I think it's per bin, and I'm sure with the big bins, it's more per bin than the small bins that we have as residents. And I don't think that they get us any closer to that 500
Oh,
residents.
they don't. Okay.
I would guess they don't. I think that's just for residents.
So like if they have, let's just say they have room for two more bins,
Hmm.
and then we pull the pilot businesses and say, okay, who would want to use it? Like just to have a space
Right. Yeah.
Black Earth's already going to. And if, you know,
Yeah.
so, I mean, again, that would have to be on farmland, but they are downtown and it's
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
central.
and clearly they have bought into the need to compost.
Right, right,
Right.
right.
Like,
So
so
there's that piece too.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe, um,
Let's look at my other notes. Yeah, oh, and I just saw some great pictures of Newton has similar to the pit, we've got the metal and the cardboard. And maybe
Yep.
mercury. I think maybe the pit collects mercury too.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
or Am saying something about that. Newton has a whole like sorting space
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, like somewhere public like that for a whole bunch of, different types of
Interesting.
batteries and, like all those various hard to recycle
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And I don't know sort of how often it's open or what, but they like designed it. It's real neat and like user friendly, and they do swaps there. Like we were talking
Well,
last night about this,
yeah.
the sports equipment swap. So they use that as a centralized like recycling. It seems like maybe more of things on the smaller side, right? Like the
Right.
volume of cardboard is huge, and especially if
Totally.
businesses start using it too, they're
Yep.
gonna have to empty that cardboard dumpster every
Right.
couple of
They
days.
are. Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
But
The
the
batteries, the
batteries and small things, you get a little more runway from that.
right.
So,
Right.
but it might be worth like looking for some info on how they do it and like what things um, that they collect. And is it just for it might just be for residents, not businesses? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you can always use that, like the Whole Foods in Woburn back in the day, they used to just have all those,
Yeah.
what are they called? Whatever the recycling,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And it would be like
TerraCycle.
TerraCycle, and it'd be like, wine corks, was one of them, I remember. And
Yeah,
then the other one was like old cell phones, like that was one.
yeah,
And I think rubber band, like there was just all random things and they were just
yeah,
all lined up.
yeah,
And I bring my little bags and I do all my
yeah.
things, but they don't have that anymore. But like, somebody
Um,
would be in charge of having those boxes and
right.
like managing. It's like the
When
kid.
um when the Lendenmend folks were when they what was it called? The Lendenmend, the Toyery, and the bike people. There was like a thing in Melrose
Mhm.
that had like fix it stuff and a toy swap thing and all sorts of things. And they had a few of those bins also because they
Oh,
were
they did. Yeah. Yeah.
like a sustainability oriented, like, hey, we can be a central drop off place for these
Yeah.
smaller items. Feel like with all the empty storefronts downtown, we ought to be able to just like commandeer one of them and like
Seriously.
set
Yeah.
up a swap
Yeah.
shop and a compost drop off
Right.
facility.
Absolutely. I know. That would be very ideal
Yeah.
to have something like that.
You need
Um,
like outdoor space and indoor space though. Because like the cardboard, you want like a full on dumpster.
yep. But the indoor you need just because the elements for
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
uh
so what Newton did though is like they bought like an old shipping container
mhm.
and set it up and like put door, they got it customized so there's like a door in it and like little rooms for these
That's
different things.
awesome.
So like
That's awesome.
that's how they handled the like collect the batteries and the whatnot out of the elements, but still outdoors in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a peek at that and see if I can find a picture. And
Yeah,
that's very cool.
yeah.
Did Anne have any insights on if businesses are doing any of this? Like, are businesses like ever contacting DPW? Like,
Didn't sound like it. I mean, businesses are sort of on their own as far as like they're not part of the
right,
municipal residential like trash and recycling pickup. So
right.
um I
So
think
are they required? They're not.
they are required to have, or like if they have trash, they need to hire a private hauler for their trash. They actually do that through the health department. Dumpsters fall under the health department, not the
Okay.
DPW.
Okay.
I found this all out when I was trying to get multi-unit
Oh,
like
great.
apartment buildings to
Yep.
recycle. They have to
Yep.
recycle. So the health department does dumpsters and
Okay.
like permits you for a dumpster and for a hauler. Like a private trash collecting hauler is not allowed to collect in Wakefield unless they have been registered or whatever through the health department.
Okay.
Um, and so through that, they can also register, like you can register for either just trash or trash and recycling. But that's on each business individually when they set up that contract, business or landlord, like if
Right.
you've got multiple businesses in a space,
Mm-hmm.
um, to contract with a hauler for trash or trash and recycling.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a shame because businesses have so much of that recycling
Oh
paper.
yeah.
I mean, I work at a clinic in Wakefield and it's not mine, another one. And it's just the amount of paper
Oh,
from it's so horrible to see that none of it all just goes in the trash.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And some of it you would want to have shredded, so you wouldn't necessarily send it all to just the straight up recycling, but
So
still,
they shred everything because it's
right,
on medical records and then all those
right.
bags just get hauled.
Yeah. Well, and once it's shredded, you don't want to recycle it.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Right. Once it's shredded, it shouldn't go in the single stream recycling because it's too small to get sorted
Right. But
correctly.
can
So
you
it just becomes like dirty confetti all over the MRF.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. So if it's
Yeah.
shredded, then it can't get recycled.
Once it's shredded, it shouldn't get recycled. But I believe like if you have like Iron Mountain or one of those like shredding
Right.
trucks or shredding services that picks it up, those I believe can shred and recycle. Oh, do you
Got
want
it.
to be in here and I'll be in the other room? We have a meeting. Um, because then it's one stream, right? If you're bringing it
Right, right,
just
right.
like this truck is only shredded paper,
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
if you're sending it to the MRF with the cans and bottles and whatever else,
Then it
it's
just
going through that
gets,
whole storage. And
got it.
because it's small, like anything smaller than a business card doesn't get sorted
Oh,
correctly.
interesting. Okay.
And
Yep.
it's expensive trash. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, that was one of the nuggets we got when
Yeah, when you
the
went and
recycling
visited.
expert,
Yeah.
well, when she came to do the thing at the library, and then when we visited, we heard multiple times about how shredded paper, even if it's nicely bagged in a theoretically recyclable paper bag, it's
Yep.
still just like explodes on contact with the machines and just like
Yeah. See, this is good
vegetable
info.
everywhere.
We don't all know this.
Yeah. But the like at the recycling event coming up in April, they'll have a shredding truck and so you can bring your paper you would like to have shredded, and I'm pretty sure that
Um,
then that the contents of that truck can go directly into a paper recycling stream.
Awesome. Okay, that's really great. Awesome.
But I don't know how many
Yeah,
businesses opt to use such a service or whatever.
right. It's true.
Probably most don't unless they have like significant volumes of that stuff.
Right. Tons and tons of it.
I'd be curious to know. Probably the banks do use one of those.
I hope so.
I thought I saw one recently in town.
Yeah. The shredding services.
Yeah.
Um, all
So
right.
yeah, so I think from like a next steps perspective, I think getting some feedback from Sonia at Recycling Works would be good. So I'll send
Yeah.
her a note.
Yeah.
Seeing if we can talk with Shaw's
Yeah. I'll reach out to
and
Shaw's.
Farmland. Do you want to reach out to Farmland too and see,
I can see.
like what
Shaw.
their stance is on
I'll-
recycling and like
Yeah. I'll
or
start with
compost?
yeah, I'll start with the email. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll see if they get a response. These businesses are not very good at that, but I can try. And then if not, I can maybe go in person and just see if I can talk to somebody.
that sounds good.
But
And then so having talked with Anne, I think we wanted to talk with, oh, from our list last time, we said next would be, oh, Erin,
Erin, okay.
Kokinda, who I think Julie was going to mention to her, but I don't know if she did. I'm sure she's also quite busy with the
Yes.
MBTA zoning stuff. And then also the health department was next on our list for like, we don't want to be advising people bring their own cups if the health inspector is going to say, no, you can't.
Right. Okay. So those are two. So Erin and then Anthony, right? Health department.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Um, so I'll reach out to Erin and see if I can set us up a chat. And
Yeah.
then,
I can try to reach out to Anthony
yeah,
unless you want to do Erin first and then go from there.
I don't, I don't see why we couldn't do them in either order. Yeah, why don't you reach out to Anthony? They're both,
Okay.
I'm sure they're both hard enough to get a hold of that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Might as
no
well
harm
just
in trying and
yeah.
see what we can calendar. Yeah.
Right. See which pot boils first.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, sounds good.
all right, so we'll do that and then
And as far as like having conversations with folks who work, daytime hours, are there good or bad times or days for you?
For me,
Like if,
for,
yeah, like if we want to try to set up like we did with
oh,
Anne.
right, right, right. I was just saying this to Melissa. So, my schedule frees up in the summer, which is coming. So as of like June 18th, because I do a lot of schools, contracting in schools. So as of June 18th, my days free up big
Got it.
time.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I feel like I'm not too worried about it right now, good time wise, but like come
Yep.
September, everything will be
Yep.
packed up again. But for the next couple months, um, I can
Okay.
make
Cool.
daytime
Okay.
time work. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Sounds good. Did I send you my Calendly?
Yes,
Okay.
you did. Send it
I'll send it
again,
again. Yeah.
just so I
Um,
can,
so like if you're talking with Anthony, you can see, when I'm generally
when you're around.
available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Um, and Julie's all over the place, so I
Yeah,
don't know
it
if
doesn't
I
bother
think
me.
I figure if we can get any two of the three of us in a meeting with
Yeah,
Erin or Anthony or anyone
yep,
like that, that's good enough.
perfect. And do you feel like in general Zoom is okay for these meetings, or did you meet with Anne in
Excellent.
person just
We
because?
met with Ann in person, but uh, yeah, I think Zoom is fine.
Okay, all right,
It might
sounds.
be easier to make happen if they're,
That's what I was
busy in
thinking.
between.
Like it's just to hop on. If I have 30 minutes, it's so much easier versus.
Totally having to get over to town hall and
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So,
yeah,
all right, cool. So
yeah.
I'll reach out to Anthony. I'll try Shaw's and Farmland.
Sounds good. Is
Yeah, we'll see.
there anything else that we wanted to do? I mean, I think the page is looking good, like is in a good spot to show to people for
Yes, yes, I
feedback. So,
agree. I agree.
um,
It's definitely presentable.
yeah,
You gave feedback on it, but is there anything else that to add or take away or
I think until we get other feedback
yeah.
from folks like Erin or the the Recycling Works people, I think it's good.
Okay. All right, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
awesome.
All right,
Good.
perfect. So, all right, so I will have those next steps happening. And
Awesome. And
then,
I'll include you and Julie on the email to the Recycling Works person. So if we get any
okay,
feedback or
all right, perfect. All right,
um,
then the next one. Next
yeah.
meeting.
So the next meeting, I think per the sort of usual cadence would be April 17th, but that's school vacation week. I feel deja vu, didn't you have that same conversation
Yeah, we
last
did.
night?
So, yep.
But I don't remember whether you're around or not
Yeah,
that
so the
week.
same answer. I'll be in Florida, but I will be able to go to a meeting.
Do you
I,
want to though when you're in Florida?
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. If you want to push it to the next week, that's fine. If you want to keep it that week, it's fine. Is it on a Wednesday night?
Would be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't really matter to me. But if you want to move it to the next week, that's fine.
I mean, I have nothing going on this
Oh,
week.
okay. All right. So we'll do the.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll check with Julie, but like tentatively, uh, we'll say the 17th. I mean, she doesn't have kids in school anymore, so I don't know if school vacation week means anything to her.
Right. Right. It
Um,
might not.
Christina, Julie, um, and then matters not anticipated are minutes from last time.
Yes.
Did you get a chance to review them?
Yes.
Any
Yeah.
feedback?
Nope. We are good.
Okay. Then can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes. Do I just say yes?
You can just say yes.
Yes.
And I'm a yes, approved.
All right.
We can be pretty casual when there are only two of us
Yeah, that's what I figured, but wasn't sure.
voting on a thing. Any other matters not anticipated?
No, not for me.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, I think we're making some progress on
Yeah.
shaking out this idea, and we'll
Yeah.
get some feedback from some folks, and then we can start,
All right.
making materials to recruit some pilot people,
Yeah. I feel like
businesses.
that's like next meeting. Like we're almost there
Might
to.
be almost there. That'd be
Yeah,
exciting.
almost there.
That'd be real cool. Or
Yes.
like start going to chamber and talking about it with, chamber folks and that kind of thing. So
Super fun. Love it.
cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, if there isn't anything else, then we can adjourn and get the rest of our evenings.
Oh, sounds great. All right. Yeah, sounds
Thank
good.
you.
All
Have a
right.
good
Bye.
night.
Yeah,
See
you
ya.
too.